When is it starting? It's starting right now. After I kill this Red Bull. So, all right. So we got a little bit to talk about. Yeah. So there's there's a few things. Oh, let me mute the video. Me, so there's no echo. Hey everybody. So I finally get my internet going. Finally have decent internet. Finally have decent internet. Forgive my place for being a little bit messy. Uh, let me know if we have sound and audio. Let me know how I'm looking and sounding from you guys' end. Please confirm that everything is going good. Someone says, I really hope this is going to be a non-controversy. It totally is a non-controversy, and we'll get into it. It's like not really worth addressing, but like we're going to address it a little bit because it's kind of funny because of how predictable this is. But I'll let a few people get in loud and clear. Everything's doing good. A few people get in before we get into our topics for today. So, how's everybody doing today? Is everybody doing good? Uh, Smitty says, I unsub because your place is a little bit messy. Oh, no. How could you, Smitty? Why would you do this to me? Obama seems happy. Indeed, indeed. Hi, everyone. Hi, Harry. Lurwill. Hello, Joe King. Hello, Mark McVeigh. Hello, everyone that's coming in. So, yeah, a lot has happened. So, yesterday it was, right? Or the other day, like days are beginning to blend in. Oh, well, before that, let me just do this thingamajig real quick where I share my screen so that you guys will be able to see everything that I'm seeing. Okay, share screen, application window. So that's the not a blog one. But that's not the one we're going to start with. So yeah, first things first, guys. If you haven't checked out my graphic novel, Tadhya, we're now funding on Indiegogo. We have sold over 1,000 books so far, 850 backers. You can totally get like a paperback for like $15 or a hardcover for a bit more, signed copies. It's all there. The link's right there. So check that out if you're interested. You can watch the trailer, look at all the art. We've got 3 variant covers. It's pretty sick. We're really close to our stretch goal, which is super awesome, as you guys can see. But back on the news. Back on what we came here to talk about, though. Back on what we came here to talk about, which is Foundation. So the other day, whenever it was, the Foundation trailer came out. And anybody that loves science fiction, loves classic science fiction, has read Foundation, and is interested in seeing these ideas be adapted for like a modern audience, brought to a big screen, or not even a big screen, small screen because it's Apple TV or whatever. But anybody that's interested in seeing this book done and done well was super excited by this trailer. Super excited. Now, when I first saw this trailer, it was on Twitter. So for me, the controversy was like without I didn't really get the controversy. I didn't really get the controversy until like I uploaded my video and I started seeing what like other people were saying about it, right? So or what a very vocal minority were saying about it, not what like it's not even a big population, but you can see, just look at the trailer. So this is the main trailer, which I didn't see. I didn't even pull the clips in my video from this trailer. So I didn't see the dislike ratio. There's 6.9K dislikes in 24,000 likes. Now, obviously, that's way too many dislikes. For like a trailer that's this high quality and for like something that looks this good, it's way too many dislikes. But it only takes you a little bit of like looking at the trailer to get why there's so many dislikes. And it only takes you like a little bit of like looking at the comments that certain people were leaving on my video to get why there's so many dislikes. So this character here seems to be replacing I can't even remember this character's name because this is such a non-character in Foundation. So in the opening of the Foundation, that one guy who I guess is a white guy is going to Trantor to meet up with Harry Selden, right? Um, but it looks like here it's this chick, and so people are mad about that. So it's like it's Layet Kynes again, but even worse with an even less important character. It's the Layet Kynes freak out again with an even less important character. It's so annoying. Like there's I've been deleting comments off my video just because I'm so sick of it. So many comments like, "Oh, this looks nothing like the book, and they just threw black people in it." Well, anybody with any kind of like thoughts in their heads understands that when it comes to Foundation, if you've read Foundation, you know that in order to like if you're going to adapt Foundation, you're going to have to add stuff. Of course, most of the characters are going to be new. Like anybody that's ever thought about a Foundation adaptation, are you thinking they're just going to like use the characters that are like in the books and just do those specific scenes and then jump 100 years and not have like any interconnecting things going on? They literally have to add in stuff. There's no way that you could adapt this story without adding characters, without adding in all sorts of new stuff. All right. And we haven't even seen it yet. So, like, once it's out, then we can discuss whether or not it accurately portrays the ideas that are present in Asimov's book. Right. So, Asimov's work has been adapted before. The Will Smith movie I, Robot is based off of like an Asimov story, but it's nothing. It has nothing to do with the Asimov story, and it sucks. Right. So, we can say that sucks. It doesn't suck because Will Smith is a black guy in the I, Robot movie. It sucks because it doesn't capture anything about what Asimov was actually trying to portray. It's just like some bullshit action movie. But we have to wait and see, right? And literally, when I was watching this trailer, I said to my roommate, I was like, "It looks like they've replaced this nobody character with this black girl or whatever she is, um, a woman of color." And I bet the trolls are going to be mad about it. But I didn't even know. I didn't even look to see. And lo and behold, they were. And lo and behold, like so many comments I saw. Yeah, iRobot wasn't that bad, I guess, but it's okay. But the point is, it does not accurately reflect what Asimov was doing at all, really. So that's basically the non-controversy. There's a few black people in the trailer, and people are pissed, essentially. Like, there's a few like guys. I said this when people were mad about Black Fremen, and this is the guy from Harry Potter. This is what's his name? What's that character's name? I forget that character's name from Harry Potter. Um, the same thing about Black Fremen in Dune, right? Black people exist in the future, guys. I don't know. Do you expect like honestly, I'm just gonna say this. I just gotta say this, right? When you see interracial couples, black and white, and they have a baby together, that baby's probably gonna be a little bit darker. And interracial relationships are more common than ever. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen the South Park episode where you have the people from the future and they're all just like one blended color of people. It's because like I mean, they say when you put chocolate in the milk, it gets you get what I mean. It's less likely. I mean, it's more likely that there would be no white people in the future than no black people. And it's really stupid to like see something like this and be like, "There's black people in it, therefore it's woke. There's women in it, therefore it's woke." Please, people, get over yourselves. Why can't you guys enjoy stories, especially something as awesome as this? Come on, guys. The trailer is awesome. It looks epic. It looks amazing. We'll have to wait and see whether it's more than just visual candy. Okay, I get it. Hey, Mia, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean like no. I mean people interracial couples are totally really popular now, and that's gonna keep happening. And the more it happens, and the more we all blend in together, which is a beautiful thing. Who's ringing my phone? Cool. It's actually gray area texting me right now, and she just said something really funny, but I will not repeat it on the stream. All right. So yeah, someone says, "What do you mean, you people?" Oh no, I don't want to get canceled. All right, guys, if you're enjoying the stream so far, feel free to leave a like. Um, and thank you guys so much. And I forgot to put. I always forget to put the PayPal link in the description, so let me just do that right now. The best way to support Ideas of Ice and Fire is through this link here, which will pop up in the description at some point if I can get it going. There it is. And post. I always say and post like that because I've been watching a lot of internet comment etiquette. Yeah, so there's that link. Oh, is this showing? Yeah, it is. Okay. Anyway, back to foundation. So yeah, guys, chill with the foundation stuff. Everyone chill. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty epic. It looks pretty awesome. So just because there's black people in it doesn't mean you gotta complain. All right, let's look at the super chats that I've gotten. So you don't have to spend the whole video answering stupid people. I'm not going to. That's just the beginning of the video. All right. Gail Dornick is the main character in the first Foundation story. As long as they make her awesome, mathematician, cool, sweet. Downvoting, not a secret stream. Says Wisdom Minari. All right, guys, let's get to it. Oh, screw off, Jay left. Let's move to George R. R. Martin. So George R. R. Martin did a blog post where he was talking about the winds of winter. So I think it was last year when George R. R. Martin was like he would have it by the time he got to New Zealand, which would be like sometime in July. So he was like, I would definitely be finished by New Zealand. And I was basically like, take it with a grain of salt. George R. R. Martin has given like dates that he would be finished before, and it's like, it doesn't happen. Jay left. I don't know what's wrong with you, but please get out of my channel. Like, go away. God, you people are so annoying. You're such crybabies. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, grow up. It's like it's such an annoyance. It's such an annoyance. You guys are like little pests, like little flies buzzing around. Anyway, back to George R. R. Martin. So George R. R. Martin's not done. That's basically what he wrote in the article. He's not done with the Winds of Winter. He's gotten a lot of it done, but he's still working on it, which is pretty much what we expected. I think if he was like closing in on like getting it done by July, he would have said something by this point. Like when me and Dave first started doing our like Winds of Winter prediction series, people were like, "Oh, do you guys is Winds of Winter coming out? Did you guys get like secret knowledge about Winds of Winter coming out?" No, we didn't get any like secret knowledge. Yeah, I will mod some people. Add moderator. Some people that I see here all the time. If you're here all the time, like comment so I can start adding some more moderators. Start giving some comments so I can add some moderators just to weed out the losers. We'll get back into some more of that in a minute, though, because I'm not done with you like jerks. But after we talk about this George R. R. Martin thing. Look, here's the thing. When it comes to writing and art and telling stories, it's all about self-fulfillment, right? I feel like true artists create art for themselves more so than anything. And I think George R. R. Martin is serious. He's serious about finishing Winds of Winter, but he's also serious about it being as perfect as possible. And there's tremendous pressure on George R. R. Martin right now. Like the show was criticized so harshly, and people are very, 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 very ready to read The Winds of Winter and not like it and, come for George R. R. Martin's throat. All right. So, Stephen King wrote that. We talked about this in one of our streams. Stephen King wrote the book Misery about like a woman, or just not even a woman, doesn't matter that she's a woman, about a reader that captures an author and traps him in her house and breaks his legs and tortures him until he writes what she wants, right? And that's a very real thing that that authors, I imagine, like George R. R. Martin, that have like these giant audiences feel, right? They feel like they're kind of like being held hostage by their audiences. And maybe George R. R. Martin isn't as passionate about A Song of Ice and Fire right now as he is other things. He's been working on this series since the late '90s. It's been more than 20 years. So I say give him a break. I say, like, he's not obligated to even finish the book series. I know that hurts, but he really isn't. And he should certainly go at whatever pace suits him, right? And for people to just like demand so much from him like they're owed it is kind of annoying and kind of sick. He is not a commodity to be like sold, right? He's a human being, he's a person, right? And first things first, he should live his life and enjoy his elder years. Like, he's more than 70 years old. How would you feel if you were 70 and like you had this awesome book series and you had people like constantly yelling at you on the internet about like finishing your book series, right? You're old, you want to like chill, right? You want to like sometimes just hang out at home and not do anything. You don't always want to get up and write. Like, leave him alone. It's like ridiculous that every time anything goes up on his Twitter, he's posting about things he likes, posting about like sports or like whatever, like movies he likes or whatever. It's always just like shut up and write, shut up and write. It's so unbelievably toxic always. And I just feel so bad for George R. R. Martin. And then also on top of that, all the people that are blaming him for that crappy ending of Game of Thrones. It is not his fault that Game of Thrones sucked. It's not his fault. Leave George alone. Leave George alone. If you guys are watching right now and enjoying the stream so far, make sure you hit the like button to scrape away the trolls, because we've been getting hit up with the trolls because I've been giving them the truth and they don't like it. Just kidding. But if you guys have been enjoying the stream, hit like, support. It really helps the channel out, helps the stream get shared and all that jazz and whatnot. There's always somebody that dislikes when I say hit like. Sipping on that haterade. Let's see. Wisdom Monari, thank you so much for your super chat. That was my super chat the other day. I told you to not get miseried. That's pretty hilarious. To not get miseried. I'm gonna try not to. And by the way, if you haven't seen, Tadhya Exordium, my graphic novel, is tremendously close to hitting its next stretch goal. You can check that out on Indiegogo, link in the description. Anyway, all right. Let's see what else I have to say about George R. R. Martin finishing The Winds of the Winter. I mean, look, he's trying to finish it at the very least. He's trying to please the fans and to please the audience and to get this book out. And he can only work so fast on a series that's this big and this complex. Like, even writing my series, Tadhya, it takes so much out of you as like someone that's like creating a world and creating characters and building the story, to like go into the minds of each of these characters and inhabit them and try and figure out what would this character do in this situation or say in this situation, and create everything. So it's a lot of mental effort to put forth. And like I said, he's more than 70 years old, and he should be able to go as slowly as he wants. And I noticed that he also like shouted out Stephen King's like new anthology book here, If It Bleeds, which I actually want to pick up and I'm gonna get soon. But we got another super chat. Let's see what we got here. Quinn, I read Dune in the early 1980s. I still learn things about it from you. Thanks, man. Well, thank you so much for the super chat. Thanks so much for commenting. And thanks everyone that's watching right now. All right, so another super chat. Let's get this one before we move on to the Denis Villeneuve situation, the Denis Villeneuve sitch. Totally agree. People that want him to write when he isn't feeling it don't understand the creative process. Trust that he knows when he should write. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you're just not feeling it. Like the idea of muses, I think that comes from the fact that like sometimes you're just not feeling it. Sometimes the creative energy just isn't flowing. It doesn't matter how good of a writer you are. I mean, it doesn't matter how good of a writer you are. It's kind of impressive how like someone like Stephen King is able to just like write so many books. Stephen King just like craps out books like at like an insanely fast pace, but like most people are not like that. Brandon Sanderson too is somebody that writes extremely quickly. Another super chat. Let me get it real quick. No matter what will get wins, even if it isn't finished. It's a dream of spring I'm worried about, and I understand the concern, but you know that's the way it is. Humans are finite organisms, and you can't always get what you want. Let's see. Let's move on to the next topic, which is Denis Villeneuve to film extra Dune footage in August, but no release day delay plan. I can't read today for some reason. Denis Villeneuve to film extra Dune footage in August, but no release delay planned. So the movie is still on for December 18th. They have not pushed it back still. All right, everything is a go. So it looks like Corona and the pandemic is not affecting the release of Dune. Um, and also, they're going back in and filming extra footage for Dune. So I wonder what that means. Like I was talking about on one of my live streams, and I said I would do something more official. So my little bit of speculation about what they could be filming, and I totally could be wrong. They could totally just be going in and filming just like little extra stuff that they missed or whatever. But like my little wish speculation would be like, okay, here it is. They haven't really like announced who is playing the Emperor or who is playing the Princess Zurulon. So maybe they just now casted them and they're like going in to like film a little scene at the end. Because I always said it would be really cool. Don't even show the Emperor the whole movie, just mention him. And then like right at the end, the Emperor, like the Baron goes to like meet with the Emperor or something, like we have destroyed. Because I imagine that the book is gonna like I mean that the movie is gonna end when House Atreides goes into the desert and when the Baron thinks they're all dead and stuff. So like right at the end of the movie, it would end after like Jessica takes the water of life or somewhere around there. So it would like end with like a meeting between the Baron and the Emperor, and you could see Irulan, and that would be really, really, really cool. And it would cut right there, and then on to the next film. So yeah, I really, really think. I mean, I really, really hope that's what they're doing. That's just my little speculation. But even if that's not what they're going back and filming, I imagine that that's still the way they're going to handle it. Someone says, or the very beginning. See, there's the thing. David Lynch put the scene in with the Emperor in the very beginning. So I feel like Denis Villeneuve is not going to do that. He's either going to go, I think he's either not going to like show the Emperor or he's going to go like right at the very end with the Emperor. Like save it up. Because you're going to be like, I think you're definitely going to see the Baron throughout the whole movie. But then the Emperor is going to be saved to the very last. And I wonder who's playing the Emperor. Let's see if it's like, guys, let's just predict this right now. If the Emperor is like black or of any of color at all, they're gonna be so mad. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. But like that's neither here nor there. But yeah. But like Charles Dance though, oh my god. If it's Charles Dance, I'll lose my crap. I'll lose my crap if it's Charles Dance. Someone says the Emperor will be Jack Black. Jack Black. I don't think. Yeah, I would be mad about that Black for sure. Jack Black. Because I don't think Jack Black is the right one for the Emperor. Here's my thing: whoever can pull off that Emperor energy, there's a few people that I think could pull off the Emperor energy. Charles Dance is definitely one of them, and I think Charles Dance is kind of like the right. He just has like the perfect look. He's already the lion in Game of Thrones, and the throne in Dune is called the Lion Throne. It's kind of like right there. Like get Charles Dance. Like that's who I that if I could pick anybody, Charles Dance. Someone says Sir Patrick Stewart. No, even though I love Patrick Stewart, I don't think Patrick Stewart is necessarily right for the Emperor. The Emperor, first of all, I think he's a little bit too old at this point, and then two, the Emperor is kind of a douche, and I don't really want to see Patrick Stewart being a douche. I just want to see Patrick Stewart be Picard, right? Like I'm gonna get back into Picard at some point. I haven't finished it, but yeah, I don't like Patrick Stewart. I don't think would be a good Emperor. Um, Mighty Pine Cone, thank you so much for your super chat. I would love to see the Irulan quotes throughout the movie. That'd be neat actually. I wonder how they would handle it. If anybody could do that well, it would be Denis Villeneuve. Pop in the quotes. That'd be interesting. James Earl Jones as the Emperor. He definitely has the voice. And that was Sean M. Thank you for your super chat. James Earl Jones definitely has a voice. If you guys have ever seen the movie Coming to America, where he's like that king, that's all I see when you say James Earl Jones is the Emperor. I see the Coming to America King of Africa guy. Um, let's see. Someone says Quinn Picard was excellent. The last episode had me um, made me cry in buckets. Okay, cool. So yeah, Denis Villeneuve. They said they're going back and they're filming new footage in August. So let's see. Let's see if it says where they're filming. I haven't actually looked at this article in detail, but let's check it out. Denis Villeneuve is preparing to shoot additional footage on Dune this August in Europe. Deadline confirms. Per the report, the team is planning to head back to Budapest, Hungary. So they're going back to Hungary. Interesting. So it's going to be some desert scenes. It seems where the movie shot in 2019 at the Origo Film Studios. Actually, no, maybe not, because it's at a film studio. So maybe they're doing desert scenes as well as something else at the film studios. Or is Budapest even where the deserts are? I don't know. I'm bad at geography. That's not one of my strong suits. Real world geography is not one of my strong suits. Fantasy geography is a whole other ballpark. It's so weird. It's like names in the real world. Don't even tell me your name because I'll forget it. Fantasy names. I will remember fantasy names, guaranteed. It's much more interesting to me. Someone says no desert in Budapest. Hungary is more forests and mountains. So yeah. So they're headed to the film studio. So this could literally be anything. This could literally be anything. Someone says Caladan maybe. Tor Strange says Whoopi should play Irulan. Yeah, you're trolling me. Let's see who they get to play Irulan. I think it'll be interesting. Let's see. It's a fully formed story in itself with places to go, Fraser said. It was quite an adventure visually. It was a beautiful experience making it. The people involved with it, I was overwhelmed. Some of the actors, as well as being insanely talented actors, are just lovely, lovely people who I've become close to since then. So who is that saying that? Oh, that's the cinematographer Greg Fraser saying that. So I love how everyone that's involved with this project seems so excited by it. I saw something too about Hans Zimmer. He's currently crafting the score for this film. And he was talking about how he's just like breathing with the movie and just like letting it flow over him and creating it right now. So it's like awesome that to think that he's doing that as we speak. So that's super cool. Looks like we got a new super chat. Let's see. I don't know how to say that, so I'm not even going to try to say that name, but somebody for Emperor. Also, keep up the amazing work. Your deep dives into Dune are all amazing. Your channel is incredible. Cheers. Let's see what we can do. Let's see who you're saying. This guy for Emperor. I know this actor. But I can't remember. I can't recall what I've seen him in or if he's a good actor or not. But interesting. Would make a bad Emperor. But honestly, my fingers are still crossed for Charles Dance. Fingers are still crossed for Charles Dance, more so than anybody. Everyone's saying he's great. Someone says first Conan was great. What do you mean by first Conan? You mean the Khal Drogo Conan? I don't know. I don't know about that. Oh, he's in Doctor Strange. Yeah, he's in the Marvel movies. That's what I've seen him in. He's one of the magic dudes in the Marvel movies. 12 Years a Slave. Oh, how did I forget that? Yeah, he's amazing. That dude's that dude's fantastic. 12 Years a Slave was like crazy good, but also really, really hard to watch. It's one of those movies that you only want to watch once. So it's like, yeah, that's a really hard movie to watch. But yeah, he's fantastic in it. Okay. Someone says everyone is overrated these days. I think that's a part of like the way internet language happens. It's always like a hyperbole. It's always like, I love you. Especially in America. Like Americans tell each other, like we say, like we throw around that word. Like I love you. I love everything. You're awesome. You're amazing. This is the best thing I've ever seen. We use that language endlessly. So like everything seems like it's like overrated, I guess. Someone says, I still think the Emperor won't show up though. That is still possible that Denis Villeneuve will reserve the Emperor the entire first film and make us wait to the second film. Someone says, what about Fade Ratha? Casting speculation. There hasn't been anything that's been even kind of concrete. There has been really even a whisper about who could potentially be playing Fade Ratha. So that'd be really interesting to see, honestly. But he has to be in this first film, I would imagine, because the Baron's in it. So we have to introduce Fade, and they've cast both the Baron and Raban. So let's see, unless they've cut Fade, which if they've cut Fade, see that's the type of thing I would raise an eyebrow. If they start doing things like cutting Fade, Fade Ratha is an important character. So Fade Ratha is literally like there's Paul and there's Fade, and it's like Ratha is the shadow of Paul almost. He's like what Paul could have been. He's like the dark Paul. He's the twisted Paul, right? Both born of the breeding program, and they would have made it if things had gone right and Paul had been female. But now they're both male, so they have to kill each other. So Fade is not something that they would cut. So he has to be in the movie. He has to be in the movie, 100%. Someone says Justin Bieber will play Fade. Excellent casting. So, guys, if you've been enjoying the stream so far, make sure you hit the like button. Thank you guys so much for watching. Liking really, really helps out the stream. It helps out YouTube with the algorithm because YouTube, we gotta sacrifice a goat to appease the mighty algorithm. Got 400 people watching and 268 likes. Let's get it up to 300, guys. Come on, let's do it. 300 likes. 300 likes. 300 likes. Start a cheer. Start a chant in the chat thing. 300 likes. Smash the button. Smash it. Let's get it. 288. Almost there. We need like, oh, there we go. 300. Thanks, guys. Epic. Best audience. Yeah, best audience. I saw like one or two people dislike, but that's okay because the haters can't go up against the Quinn. The Quinn's ideas army. The likes fuel the ideas, guys. So the more likes, the more ideas come out of my mind. All right, so yeah, those were the things I had queued up to talk about. The Foundation controversy, or whatever controversy, the George R. R. Martin not being down with the Winds of Winter, and people really needing to give him a break, I think. And then, of course, Denis Villeneuve filming more for Dune and speculation on that. And so someone says Kanye West is the emperor. Don't think so, done, Happy, but thank you so much for your super chat. Someone says, pretty sure Asimov was an SJW. I mean, definitely hippie. Like that's the thing about like these like we're talking about like science fiction writers from like the 30s and 40s and 60s. Like Frank Herbert was a hippie. George R. R. Martin is a hippie. Asimov was definitely a hippie. Like, look at the ideas that are presented in Foundation, like the ideas against violence. Like, violence is the last refuge of the incompetent. Someone says Asimov wasn't an SJW. What are you defining as SJW? See, I don't even want to talk about that. But here's the thing: the word is kind of meaningless, isn't it? Does it really mean anything? Because it's defined in so many different ways. It doesn't mean anything. That's why it's so hard to talk about. It's so hard to talk about anything like that. Everything gets labeled as SJW this, SJW that. I don't even know. I don't even know. Okay, anyway. 94 Evangelion. Love your Dune videos about the 80s Dune movie. Does Lynch deserve all the blame for the movie? I mean, he didn't have the final cut for that film. I actually didn't David Lynch recently say that he's proud of every movie that he's done except for Dune 1984? So I don't think it was his fault. I think David Lynch, I think the David Lynch 1984 movie, although it might have still been super weird and not Dune because David Lynch is a weird guy and all of his stuff is weird. Have you ever seen Twin Peaks? I mean, come on. You can't deny that David Lynch is weird. But yeah, yeah, it does seem like he got kind of screwed over by the movie studio and they kind of like saw his vision and thought that it wasn't good enough and like changed it a bunch. So yeah, it does seem like David Lynch kind of got screwed over. I mean, to an extent. I wish we could see the final cut of his movie. Like, if I was him, I would be pushing to like have his director's cut released. Like, if he hates it, he keeps saying how much he hates it. So if he hates it so much, I would be pushing to have his version of it like out there, unless there's like something fundamental from the beginning that he just hates about it. Um, so I would like it if he could elaborate. Honestly, if David Lynch could like elaborate on what exactly it is that he hates about the 1984 Dune movie, then it would help me come to an understanding as to like what problems arose from it, like just being like a trippy, crazy David Lynch movie, and what problems arose from the movie studio tampering. Release the Lynch cut, exactly. That's what we got to do. Release the Lynch copy. Someone says, Patrick says, there was too much exposition in the Dune 1984 movie. Yeah, and I mean, I think it was mostly the voiceovers that were like kind of like weird because the voiceovers definitely like take you out of it. It's like Mintak Dufir Howard. He's doing this, and you got Gurney Halleck. I mean, it's just like Duncan Idaho, Swords Master to House Atreides. It's really kind of like, it's definitely weird. So, like, Denis Villeneuve is definitely more show versus tell. Some people like the voiceover. Some people like the voiceover, which everyone can like what they want. But like for me personally, in my opinion, I think it does kind of take you out of the film. Someone says, "What do you think of Blade Runner 2049?" I loved Blade Runner 2049. Are you kidding me? I love that movie before I even knew that Denis Villeneuve was doing. Wait, did I? Let me not lie on the internet. I think I might have seen that after they announced. I think I saw that like right after they announced he was doing Dune. If I'm being honest, I think. But yeah, I love Blade Runner 2049. It was really good. I love the original Blade Runner. Blade Runner 2049, in my opinion, was better. I really really liked it. I loved Denis Villeneuve's vision. I love how just like grand it is and just big. Like the technology that we have now with like CGI plus practical effects, what we can do is like it that's this is the best time to make sci-fi stuff. This is the best time to tell these types of stories because we've never been able to make it look this good. And it's just like, oh, have I started a war in the comments? I know there's some people that hold true to the fact that the original Blade Runner is the best, right? But, I really do enjoy the Villeneuve version more. But I love both of them. But I loved how the new one was kind of like a subversion of like the hero's journey trope. It totally was. It turned the hero's journey trope on its head completely, and it did it in such an effective way. Right. So if you haven't seen Blade Runner 2049, it's such a great science fiction film. Such a great science fiction film. Someone says, I think voiceovers could work for ear-long quotes, but other than that, it might be a little much. Yeah, yeah, might be a little much to continuously interject with voiceovers. And that's the thing about Dune, and that's why I'm glad that they're working so hard on Dune, because Dune is hard to adapt. It's so big, and there's so much going on. It's very complex. And like, how do you get that across in a film? I mean, it's a task for master filmmakers, and luckily, there's master filmmakers working on the movie. Asimov was a hippie, says Sean M. He was a biology professor. No, you said Asimov wasn't a hippie. He was a biology professor. Gene Roddenberry wasn't a hippie. He was a pilot and a cop. Neither were counterculture. Hey, your Gene Roddenberry was like, okay, no, 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 no. Thank you for your super chat. I'll have to do more research on Asimov and his beliefs and stuff like that. But Gene Roddenberry was definitely a hippie. Like the ideals that were like put into Star Trek from the beginning: anti-capitalism, diversity. Roddenberry literally was like black woman, like Russian, Asian. That was intentional. Why do you think the Star Trek bridge looks like that? Um, why do you think that? And then it becomes even more emphasized when you move over into the next generation, does it not? The first major adversary to the next generation, to the Federation and the next generation, was intended to be the Ferengi. The Ferengi, the whole beginning of the episode, they're hyping it up like it's like the Ferengi are so ominous and scary, and Data is all like, yeah, the Ferengi, like we haven't had contact with them in a long time, but they're the worst aspects of capitalism, and they're so horrifying and scary. We're about to meet the Ferengi, the big threat. So I don't know. Or unless you're defining, yeah, I guess you could be defining hippie differently. But when I say hippie, I just mean, in the way that I am a hippie. I don't know, because I don't know. I guess I those are the things that I see. I think it's quite clear, and I think Gene Roddenberry has said as much. Like even in Star Trek, it's like humankind has moved beyond. Uh, someone says, "Dude, I know what I meant is that Gene and Isaac weren't 17 in 1968." Okay, I get what you mean. I think. Thank you for your super chat. Great conversations, guys. Great conversations. That's what it's all about. Um, Kevin Sullivan, thank you so much for joining. And if you want to support this channel, you can, like Kevin Sullivan just did, hit the join button right there. There's 3 different tiers. You get badges and different emojis. It's super cool. It's super neat. And also, you can support this channel by clicking the PayPal link in the description. And also, guys, check out Tadhya. We're so close to the stretch goal. As you can see, we have raised this much money, and just like we're on day 9, 8 or 9 right now. The days are kind of blending together. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen, am I? There we go. Yeah, we're on like day 8 or 9, and we've raised this much. It's kind of crazy. And like I said, low price points on these paperback books and the digital copies because we wanted everybody to be able to get it. And yeah, you can go out, click that link, check out everything that's out there. There's a few different versions: digital, audio, paperback, hardcover, signed, not signed. I'm very excited. I'm really, really happy that everyone's supporting the project. And like I said, I can't thank you guys enough. Unbelievably gracious. Check it out if you haven't. And if you can't support right now, share the link everywhere that you can. Please, 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 guys, please share the link. Honestly, guys, let me just hit this home for a little bit. The most important thing that you guys can do for me right now to help me out is to share the link to the campaign. You see right here where it says like Facebook, Twitter, or just copy the link, take it, and please, 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 please share it on like Reddit, share it on Facebook, Twitter, and like whatever groups that you guys are a part of, like nerd groups that might be interested in like fantasy kind of horror comics. Please, please, please do me a solid and share it wherever you can. And if you can afford to like back the book, even if it's just like $10 for a digital copy, so greatly appreciated. And yeah, thanks for listening to me shill for my book. Okay, back to the normal events of the stream. Check out Tadhya, link in the description. Okay. So Travis Gray says, chapter house video, bro. Everyone wants a chapter house video. I know, I know, I know. It's coming. Um, like I said, really busy with Tadhya, moved across the country, trying to find a more permanent place. Um, things are a little bit stressful right now, but we're trying to work it out, get things together. So we'll see what can happen. But yeah, so the chapter house thing has just been put on hold for a little bit, but I'm still working on it. It's gonna be epic. It's gonna be the best Dune movie of all time. No, I'm just kidding. It's gonna be the best of my Dune videos. I kind of do feel like those ultimate guide videos are pretty much movies. That's what they evolved into. It's basically like dramatic retellings of Dune, giving you the bits that you missed, pulling out the important parts. Someone says, your Dune videos are crazy, next level. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I never expected that those videos would get so big. I never expected that many people would watch them. It's crazy. Like millions of people have watched those videos. It's insane. So yeah, thanks. Yeah, like I always say, like thanks everyone for like all the support on this channel. Thanks for like watching my videos. Thanks for coming to the live streams. Thanks for smashing that like button. Thanks for subscribing, joining. Thanks for everything that you guys do, commenting, and sharing the videos and sharing links and stuff like that. I could not do it without my audience. I'm glad you guys love nerdy stuff as much as me. I'm glad you guys love nerdy science fiction books as much as me. Um, and nerdy like fantasy books, of course. Can't forget where I had my start. The former Ideas of Ice and Fire channel. Now Quinn's Ideas, of course. Let's see. Another super chat. Thank you guys so much, Mighty Pinecone. The artist for Toddy is great. I'm writing a graphic novel too, but finding a good artist has been difficult. Well, that is Matthew Weldon. And Matthew Weldon is a bit busy right now working on Tadhya, but yeah, he is phenomenal. He's a phenomenal artist. And we also have John Francois Bell Yule working, doing the coloring for the book, and he's fantastic colorist. Um, Someone says, "Thank you so much for your super chat, VT. Um, have you ever thought have you ever thought of making a fan fiction on Dune?" No, fan fiction has never been my thing. I've never been the type to say, let me go write a fan fiction story. So, no, not really. I think the story that Frank Herbert was trying to tell was it speaks for itself. Someone says I wasn't asking for it. I'm just pointing out that you found someone good. Yeah, yeah. Thanks. We really did find someone good. Really, I got very lucky to stumble across Matthew Weldon and have him be available, which is crazy because he's always working on a bunch of different things. Someone says more Asimov videos. Oh, more Asimov videos are coming for sure. I am definitely gonna make more Asimov videos now that the show is coming out. Definitely. But yeah, there's if you want to check out other Asimov videos, you can check out the playlist on my channel. I've got a few that are already up. I've got one where I'm going over the first book and the rise and fall of the empire. I've got like a couple on the mule. I've got a really cool video where I'm comparing the Asimov Galactic Empire to the Dune Galactic Empire to the Hyperion Galactic Empire. And I actually have, you can check that video out too, right there. There's that one. That's a really cool video. So if you haven't gotten into Foundation and you want to, or if you haven't got if you're a fan of Foundation and you don't read Dune, or if you want to like learn about Hyperion and how that is inspired by both of those, then you can click on that one. That's a really good video. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but it is. More Larry Niven videos. Ringworld videos are coming. Ringworld videos are coming. I have like pages upon pages and upon pages of notes on Ringworld because like it was such that first book and the second one, Engineers, because it's such an interesting concept, like the composition of the ring world, like the layers of it, like what happened. I don't want to spoil it, but like there was a I don't want to spoil it, but they get there and there's like this big mountain. They're like, this is a really weird mountain. What happened with the mountain? And you find out what the deal was at the end of the first book. But yeah, just like everything about it, the history of it and the composition of it, it's really intriguing. And I have a bunch of notes on it, and I want to discuss it more on this channel, certainly. That's when we get into the really nerdy sci-fi stuff. But honestly, the thing with the Ringworld books, that's when you have to get to the point where it's like you have to like accept it for what it is and be like, yes, the concept of the Ringworld is interesting. The characters could use some work, especially some of the female characters, like Tila Brown, um, for instance. Not the best character, but you know, the series as a whole and the concepts that Neven was presenting in that series were absolutely mind blowing and found and groundbreaking, revolutionary. Definitely inspirational for a lot of science fiction that came after it for sure. And I do like enjoy like kind of like the hokiness of the Ringworld books too as well. It's super interesting. I like it. It's very charming. The puppeteers I find kind of adorable. The two-headed like whatever they're supposed to be like goose guys. They're super funny. Yeah, they're like afraid of everything. They're super cautious. Yeah, it's really interesting. So yeah, Ringworld, you can check that out. That came out. I think the first Ringworld book came out. I want to say 75. I could be wrong. I'm sure you guys can look it up in the chat. I'm always trying to like guess and strain my mind when you guys are just gonna look it up in 5 minutes. So when did the first Ringworld book come out, guys? Can somebody look that up? Look that up. There's a lot of them. I have not read all of Larry Neven's books. There, he has a lot of books, and it's like it's a lot of different. It's a few different series that interconnect. He's got this whole big intergalactic empire. 1970, 1970. So I was 5 years off. I figured it was 1970, 1975, something like that. 1970, 1975. All right. Let's see. Someone says more Wheel of Time. I will be covering more Wheel of Time actually. That's something that I've had in the bag for a while. Wheel of Time is a great series. There's a show coming out. If you don't know about Daniel Green, which is like, if you don't know about Daniel Green, then like, what are you doing? Go over to Daniel Green's channel right now and say that Quinn's idea sent you. That's something we used to do on YouTube in the olden days. We'd like be like raid somebody else's channel. But yeah, totally check out Daniel Green. Tell him I sent you over there. He's an awesome fantasy dude. He covers Wheel of Time. He covers all of fantasy. He gave me an awesome shout out for Tadhya, for my book Tadhya, my graphic novel. He's going to review Tadhya when it comes out. Super, super nice dude and great YouTuber. Somebody post a link to Daniel Green's channel in the chat. Somebody has it. Where's my moderators? Do I need to post more moderators? Let's see. Who's here that I see all the time? All right, guys, we're going to pick some moderators. So if you're here all the time, I said this last time, but I forgot. If you're here all the time in my streams, please comment so I can pick some moderators because we need a few more. We got Snark, but we need a few more people so that we can have people posting links and getting on it. Alicia's not here. We got to stop depending on Alicia all the time. So there's Daniel Green's channel. Snark just posted it. Let's see. Snark just posted it. So yeah, check out Daniel Green, guys. Let's see. Kevin Sullivan says, have you read the book based on the upcoming HBO series Lovecraft Country? I have not. What is that about? I've been hearing about that series a bunch, but it's like, I've been hearing about the Lovecraft Country show bunch. I didn't even realize that I unplugged my laptop. I didn't even realize that it was a book or anything. What is that about? I wouldn't even know. When will the Dune trailer come out? I have no idea when the Dune trailer. Well, actually, it's the speculation. The current speculation now, it's July 17th or something like that, because they're showing footage or a trailer or something during the re-release of Inception. So if they're doing that, then probably the trailer is going to come out soon after that. So yeah. Um, Someone says, is Lovecraft about sex? No, Lovecraft is about deep existential horror. It's like cosmic horror. It's like one of the most terrifying forms of horror, in my opinion. It's Vishnu says Lovecraft was racist. Xenophobic, definitely. But here's the thing that I always say, like, Lovecraft is dead. You're not giving him money or supporting him by reading his stories, which are like public domain at this point. So it's like you're not giving him money. And also, it's not like you don't read Lovecraft books. It's not like a soliloquy about like white supremacy. No, it's just a bunch of horror stories. So yeah, it's cosmic horror. It's like the idea that like what awaits in space, what dark things await, what awaits below the earth, waiting to awaken, and hinting at like deep, dark, terrifying things that are beyond human experience and human understanding and stuff like that. So it's that kind of horror. Someone says Lovecraft is kind of outdated since he's been ripped off in popular culture so much. I get that sense for sure. That's why like I would kind of be weary of anybody that's trying to adapt any type of Lovecraft story. And I haven't spoken on this yet. I don't think I've talked about this in a stream yet because I'm mad at you guys. Whichever one, a few of you, it was a few of you during streams. I got to call you guys out for this. The Color Out of Space movie. Got which who told me that was good? It was some of you. The Color Out of Space movie was terrible. I need to set the record straight because that movie was not good, guys. That movie was not good. Everything from like Nicolas Cage screaming about his alpacas to like the BS like witch ritual that went nowhere. Like so, like it opens up with like the daughter character, and she's like doing a ritual in the woods or something that doesn't mean anything. And then like halfway through the movie, she's like opening up the Necronomicon and like carving like a pentagram. You think, oh, now it's time to awaken some demons or something. And nope, that didn't mean anything. And it's the character development was nothing. It's like the mom like chops off both of her fingers. I don't even care about spoiling this movie because it's terrible and no one should see it. Like the mom chops off both of her fingers, and then the next day she's like still like all pissed off about like working and the internet. Like you just chopped off two of your fingers. Like take a month off or something. Take a month off, maybe. You chopped off both of your fingers, which by the way was like a ripoff of like Carrie when the mom's like chopping the carrots. It looked just like that. By the way, so many ripoffs. It was like so many different movies. I'll have to go back and look at it to see just like how many like horror movies this thing ripped off and not even well. So like there's a scene where like the mom and like the son get like zapped by like the alpacas after the alpacas have like merged together and they're all like "Meh." It's not even like the thing. Yeah, it was ripping off the thing all over the place. Yeah, the alpacas are like "Meh." And then it like shoots like this like plasma electricity at the mom and the son, and then they merge together and they're all like merged together. It was and the ending, look, here's the thing. I can go for abstract. I get abstract. I like abstract. I can go for like ambiguous and weird and like left open. I totally like and understand all of that stuff. But this was none of that. This was bad characters, bad story, just bad story. Like literally the entire movie, Nicolas Cage is like screaming about alpacas. I'm not even kidding. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Like if you're watching it for a comedy, if you're watching it with the understanding that this is going to be like a ridiculous comedy movie, you can like totally watch it with your friends and make fun of it. Like I watched it with my friends and we were like, let's watch it, it might be cool. We were watching it seriously for about the first like 20 minutes before we just started trashing it and making fun of it because it was so bad. It was and it I was laughing. It's like the movie was trying to be completely serious and I was laughing throughout it because it was that bad. But yeah, I just had to like go on a little tangent about that Color Out of Space movie. That was a bad movie. Sorry if you liked it, but it was bad. Um, um, Michael Williams says, "Thank you so much for your super chat, Michael Williams." By the way, when Asimov combined Robot, Empire, and Foundation series, that was 16 books plus two short stories. Will you do a video that talks about how they all fit together? They all fit together in really like interesting ways too, especially when you like when Daniil Oliva comes into play and you realize like the role that he had and all of this stuff, like, oh, it all comes together so brilliantly. Like Asimov was really doing a lot of work with like the setting things up and the intricacies and like having like things in place to go back to later in like different books. He's like kind of the master of doing that almost. Larry Niven also does a lot of that. I think I haven't read all of Larry Niven stuff, but yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. So yeah, maybe a video on that in the future for sure. I'm definitely gonna dive more into Asimov, the Empire series, Foundation, the Robot series, all that stuff. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be neat. And I see we have over 400 likes. Thank you guys so much for liking the video. It really, really helps out. And guys, I see we've gotten several backers since we started the stream. I just want to say thank you to everyone that has backed since we started the stream for Tadhya. Like we are like just over a grand away from our next stretch goal. And like I said, every stretch goal we hit, we can make the book better. The book becomes better quality. With every single person that backs, we could just create a better product. That's why crowdfunding is so amazing, and I'm just so excited that you guys are going on this journey with me. Just had to say that and plug Tadhya real quick. Check it out. Link in the description. Okay, I'm putting in my IMDb review that Quinn sent me. What are we talking about here? I don't know what we're talking about here about IMDb. But yeah, oh, here's the thing. Okay. I don't know. Correct. I don't know what the legality of this is, guys. But I know that like it's against the rules for me to make a Wikipedia page about Tadhya. But since I've got like 400 people like watching right now, if someone wants to go and like start a Tadhya Wikipedia page, that'd be super cool. That'd be a super cool way that you could help out support Tadhya, because like I think Wikipedia has rules against like making pages for your own thing, and I wouldn't want to do that anyway. That's like kind of thirsty. But if like one of you guys went and made the page, and then people like went and contributed to it, that'd be cool. That'd be really neat. So just throwing that out there. If you guys wanted to help out, so yeah, there's totally ways that you guys could support my campaign, support this book that don't involve like giving me money, because I totally understand. I don't know if it's illegal, just like against their rules or whatever. But yeah. I don't know if it's illegal, but it's legal in the Wikipedia world, quote unquote. Unethical is a better word for sure. Um, Someone says I can't remember the characters in Foundation besides Harry Seldon and Arcadia and Magnifico and the Mule. There's a few characters that stand up, but mostly yeah, like mostly when it comes to adapting something like Foundation, you're gonna have to add a bunch of new characters, and that was like always the understanding. Look, I did a couple years ago, I think I was on Daniel Green's channel, since we plugged Daniel Green earlier. Um, we were talking about Foundation and it potentially being adapted, and both of us were saying like, how would they do this? Like they would have to add characters, or they would have to like focus on one thing, and if they focused on one thing, it wouldn't be Foundation. So you got to add characters and like do the individual like books or like eras. Basically, that's the only way you got to do it. So it's you cannot do Foundation, that story as it is and as it stands, as a TV show. Where's LML? LML just popped in. I saw him. Where is he? Get him, Dave. Get him, Dave. Let's see. Do you plan on coming back to King Killer Chronicle videos? Absolutely. I'm going to do more King Killer Chronicles videos. Actually, here's the thing. Captured in Words, who is a fellow YouTuber on YouTube, fantasy YouTuber, one of the best YouTubers, but so underrated. Please, guys, go subscribe to Captured in Words. He deserves it. He's such an amazing YouTuber, such a great person. His channel's epic. He's got a bunch of King Killer videos up. I'm gonna work on some King Killer videos with Jay, and it's gonna be epic. So yeah, check him out. So yeah, we're gonna do more. We're gonna do King Killer Chronicles videos. So much planned for you guys in the future. I had more planned for this month, but like we haven't had internet for a while. Like we just got internet, and it's great. It's glorious. And also the campaign was a lot more work than I initially anticipated. There's been a lot of like little things to take care of. But yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it. Yep. Go subscribe to Jay, Captured in Words, and tell him that I sent you. Someone says they might all be new characters, which is fantastic. Because look, when it comes to we have to think about what a story is about. What is the point of a story? The point of the Foundation is the ideas that are being presented about like the fall of an old empire, and how do you rebuild how do you build an empire out of the remnants of an old one? Like when there's no communication and everything is cut off, how do you build a new empire through peaceful means? And as long as like all of those ideas and concepts and ideas are present, they can even like include some of the robot stuff. They got it. It's all the same universe. As long as all that stuff is there, and as long as that's the focus, then it doesn't matter like what the characters are. Like as long as the writing is good, as long as like the interpersonal relationships. Because look, that's what's not there in Foundation. Like what the philosophy and the ideas are there, but what's not there is the characters and the character relationships. There's no characters that you really connect to and really love. So of course you have to change that for a TV show. It's the most obvious thing ever. And anyone that's mad about that just doesn't want it to be adapted. No, there's no one wants to watch the film. I mean, I'm not gonna say no one wants to watch it. I would watch it. I would watch if they were just adapting the book. Yeah, I would watch because I'm a crazy sci-fi nerd. I read all types of stuff that people would consider boring, and I read it, not just watching it. So I would watch it. But most people they want people that the average person to get into these ideas too, and it looks great. So let's not. It's great. It looks great. Speaking of adaptations, I've always said Game of Thrones might have been better served as an anime. Voice actors could be multiple characters, the locations would be allowed to be more fantastical. Totally agree. Mighty Pinecone, 100% legit. I've always said an animated Game of Thrones, an animated Song of Ice and Fire is where we need to go. So we got to do. Yeah, animated because like you could with animation you can do anything. It doesn't matter. You can save money on actors, like you said, multiple voice actors playing different characters. You don't have to worry about CGI and costumes and set and any of that. It cuts out so much cost. And then all you got to do is just adapt the story. Let's see. Thank you so much for your super chat, Lee. Lechano, I can't say that name. Notoriously bad at names. Sorry. Quinn, one sci fi book on this same subject, rebuilding, you might like is Canticle for Libowitz. Libowitz? Yeah. Okay, I'll check that out. I'll copy and paste that and add that to my list. I literally have a giant list. I'll pull up my notepad. Okay. Add a noun to notepad. Always, as always, guys, I am always looking for sci-fi book recommendations, fantasy book recommendations, because you never know what I'll pop up with on this channel as far as videos. Anything that intrigues me, my interest in a certain way, I'm going to cover it for sure. Let's see. The people that did Castlevania could do good. There's a new season of Castlevania on Netflix, I think. I watched the first season. It was really good. It was really, I don't know anything about that story or like if it comes from a book or a game or what, but I thought it was a really cool twist on like the Dracula myth and legend. Yeah, it's really cool. Sean M says, the moat in God's eye for real. Okay. Copy and paste that recommendation. Thank you so much for that recommendation. And paste. And thank you for your super chat. And thanks everyone that's given me a super chat. You guys are so supportive. It's incredible. Um, and thanks everyone that's backed the campaign. We're doing really great. Someone says check out Alchemy of the Stars. I'll definitely give that one a check. Someone says season 3. So we're on 3 seasons of Castlevania. I've only ever seen the first one. That's awesome. Someone says everyone's saying so someone said season 3 was beautiful but boring. Oh, that kind of blows then. I'll definitely get back into it. What I'm excited about later this week though is Dark. Dark is coming back on Netflix and that's an awesome show. Last season. Honestly, Netflix. Can I just like can we just say Netflix has been really upsetting me and hurting me. I feel personally attacked by Netflix recently. Um, First, the other night I go in to like watch Mad Men, which I was doing my rewatch of Mad Men, which I periodically do, and it's gone. Mad Men is not on Netflix anymore. They deleted it. And then the other night I'm like, okay, I like to relax sometimes and watch Planet Earth or Blue Planet or something. So Planet Earth 2 is like awesome, and Netflix had it in like totally HD 4K. It was super awesome. And it's gone. They deleted Blue Planet and Planet Earth 2, so that's gone. Like, and then like Netflix is always bad about like, I don't know, it's a contract thing, they lose stuff. And then also, but they also cancel stuff. Like the OA is one of the greatest sci-fi shows, one of the most interesting shows like I've ever seen, and they canceled the OA. They canceled the OA after 2 seasons. I'm so upset. I'll never be over the fact that they canceled the OA. Like, and I don't even get into that much TV, right? And I was worried that they were going to cancel Dark. Like, oh my god. But yeah, I wish somebody would pick up. I wish they would just bring it back. Can we sign up? Can we like start a petition to get the OA back, because that's one of the best like urban science fiction stories that's like about like trippy stuff and like multiple dimensions and like the afterlife. There's so many incredible ideas and concepts in the OA that like aren't explored typically. People shy away from these types of ideas like death and what it actually means and consciousness and what it actually means and like the interconnectivity of like life systems and like all that stuff, all that weird metaphysical stuff that just tickles my brain in the right way. Actually, the OA means something, but it's kind of a spoiler what it means. Please, no one post a spoiler. But yeah, yeah, OA is a great show if you want to check that out. All right, guys. So Black Mirror is great. The last season of Black Mirror wasn't great though. I did not. I thought the Miley Cyrus stuff was kind of silly, and then the Twitter episode was like not great. Um, First episode was okay, I guess. Yes. So, guys, you guys have anything you guys want to talk about? I'm gonna stream for a while longer, I think. Like I said, we are extraordinarily close to hitting our next stretch goal for my upcoming graphic novel Tadhya. We are so unbelievably close. We've gotten a bunch of backers doing the stream. You guys are incredibly supportive. Like I said, entry level digital copy. You can get a digital copy for $10, which is crazy cheap. And our paperbacks are only 15, which is very cheap. Typically with Indiegogo crowdfunded comics of this size, it's going to be like at least $25. But I really, really fought for like a low price point on the paperback because it was really important to me that there was a low price point so people could get it if so I don't want to make it like super expensive. I just want people to be able to read it. And then there's other ways you can support with like signed paperbacks and other things. And there's more expensive tiers, but yeah. So check that out. Share, share, share. And like I said, if somebody is working on a Tadhya Wikipedia, that's super sweet because I can't do it myself. All right. So yeah, someone says, do you think in Foundation they will do global warming direction? They better. I was just talking to Dave about this actually. This is how you. This is look, and that's why it'll be funny. It'll be so funny when they go in the direction of global warming, and then the trolls complain. And let me tell you exactly why. When they eventually do get back to Earth, and there's one of the books they go back to Earth, right? Dave is my roommate. When they go back to Earth, they don't go back to Earth. When they're on the way, they're talking about what happened. And basically one of the characters says, I don't understand. I don't understand how people could know that they were headed for a disaster and do nothing about it. So Foundation in Earth, read it. Just read it. Foundation in Earth. Have you read it? So it's like they better go in that direction because that's a part of the series. That's literally one of the fundamental like themes. So yeah, like Earth is a destroyed wasteland because of us. Yeah, it's nuclear wars, but it's the same idea. It's the same idea that we destroy our mother, we destroy our home, we destroy Earth, right? So that concept is repeated in so much science fiction. Why is that? Why is that? You think that the Earth is always like a ruin somewhere? Earth is always like a wasteland. So yeah, like it's science fiction, baby. Science fiction has always dealt with these ideas and concepts. Like Star Trek is one of the only ones that you're gonna find where it's like we're living in this like utopia and Earth is fine. Star Trek is one of the only ones you're gonna find like that. In most science fiction, either Earth is a wasteland that nobody lives on, or it's just like dystopian and it sucks to be there and everybody hates it and everybody's poor and there's like a few people that have money. That's almost always the way it is in science fiction. Let's see. Sci-fi is trying to warn us. Exactly, Dave Rosser. Sci-fi is definitely trying to let Dune is like yeah. There's all sorts of warnings in science fiction books. That's like one of the themes. They're always warning us about like human arrogance, Like, we should we? How far is technology gonna go? Like, how far are we gonna like push until we destroy our planet or destroy ourselves? Yeah. Quinn, you schlup. You mean shill? Oh, there you go. I'm over here like shlup, trying to pronounce it. Oh no, I'm shilling. I'm a shill. Oh no. Oh god. Trantor has heat exchangers which extend above the atmosphere when the planet is dark. Right? It's like Trantor is in Foundation. Like Trantor is the capital planet. Um, it's the capital planet, I believe. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it is. And it's like there's just like technology. It's like encased in like all this technological stuff, and it's all the way down to the surface. Like people that on Trantor never see the sun. They have like rooms called like sun rooms or something that they go inside of to like experience light because they don't see the sun. So that's really trippy idea. Yeah, do androids dream of electric sheep? Yeah, Philip K. Dick. Earth sucks. Earth sucks on that. That's the series that's the book that the Blade Runner universe is based on. Earth sucks in that. It absolutely sucks. Yes, Trantor is the capital of the Empire. They never see the sun. How awful would that be? So Asimov is definitely making commentary like he's like, do you guys would you want to live like that? Does anybody do we want to head in that direction where it's like no, we don't see the sun ever, and we go in rooms to get sun, light rooms or whatever? That's so crazy. But it's funny like reading Asimov as well because it's like it's you can see the ways in which it inspired like every science fiction that came after it. But then in other ways, it's like super dated. Like they still use coins and stuff in the Empire. Like they would not be using coins. They'd have like credit cards or something like that. But it's like when did the first Foundation book come out? I don't even think it initially came out as books, right? They were short. They were like short stories that were they were each section was released one by one initially, right? If I'm not mistaken, because the first book is split up into four different sections that each have names. So if I'm not mistaken, each one was released bit by bit, starting in the sometime before the 50s at some point, sometime in the 50s or after the 50s. People are saying 1951, I think, that Foundation actually came out as like a book that was together. Yeah, I think it was 1951 that it actually came out as a whole book, but like it was serialized earlier than that. The same way Dune was. Like a lot of people don't know that actually Dune was actually serialized, which is really interesting. Mhm. Let's see. Someone says, I hope Foundation has no Will Smith in it. Yeah, let's not do the Will Smith thing. Let's not do the Will Smith thing again. This always bothered me. Do the Foundation universe and the robots? Yes, it's the same universe. Yes, Vada, all Adi. The Foundation universe and the robots universe is the same universe. They are interconnected more than you know. I don't want to spoil it, but they are interconnected more than you know for sure. Someone says, but Will Smith is the best actor on earth. I don't think so. I don't know about that. But I will say I did recently like look at that After Earth movie that he was in that everyone panned. And though it had its problems, it wasn't like as bad as everyone said it was. It has some interesting ideas going for it. Someone says I want to see Daniil Oliva. That would be interesting. Look, I wonder if they're gonna do some. Okay, if you've read Foundation and if you've read the whole series, you know what's going on with Daniil. So I wonder if like they're gonna do like a little bit of a cameo. That'd be super interesting.
Did someone say cameo?
Cameo. Look who's making a cameo.
Cameo. Cameo.
Yeah. Yeah. So everyone's saying no to Will Smith. Yeah, I agree. Someone says, was it as bad as season 8? Was what as bad as season 8? Remind me, what are we talking about? Um, oh, After Earth? After Earth was not as bad as season 8 by a long shot. I would rather. I feel like After Earth is like something that I would watch again to be like, oh, that's kind of cool. Let me look at that. Season 8, like literally today, I saw like the coolest like season 8 like package with like a wildling arrowhead or like no, I think it was like one of the Children of the Forest like arrowheads. Like no, actually I think it was like a dragon glass dagger arrowhead, one of the Children of the Forest ones. It's like a steel box and it looked all cool. It was $50 at that spot. It's $50 at Best Buy. I can't talk. And I looked at it and I was like, this looks so cool. I want it, kind of. But you know what? I'm just not about to spend $50 on Game of Thrones season 8 right now. I'm just not about to do it. Because it's just like I'm not about to spend $50 for a cool case just so I can be hurt all over again in 4K. It's like, do you want us to like hurt you again in 4K this time around? This is like, no thanks, not right now. Like discount it by like 50%, and then maybe I'll think about getting
All the
it.
pain, 4 times the pixels.
Yeah, like I can still watch it on HBO now if I want. Like screw it. Like I don't need it. I was like screw it. Um, Someone says, "Oh, don't spoil it, Sean. Don't spoil it." Thanks for the super chat, but let's not spoil it for everybody else. Let's not spoil it. Let's not spoil the foundation. Oh, but it is cool that he's on the IMDb page. Don't look at Sean's super chat if you don't want to be spoiled for the foundation. Don't spoil it. That, yeah, that's like because that in that all that Daniil Oliver stuff is so cool for sure. Someone said they made him a female. Well, if they did, I mean, does it really matter? Think about it. Think about it. I'm not gonna say why because it's a spoiler, but does it really matter if it's if he? We know that Daniil Oliver was all over the. I'm not even gonna say shit, but like whatever. Yeah, exactly, Tesla. Exactly. Are you gonna do a foundation series like you did Dune? I bet if you did Kickstarter for it, it would get money. I loved your series so much, I'd pay for it. Well, I feel weird about charging for like a YouTube series. Now, if I was gonna do like, if I had like a concept for like a super like awesome high budget thing, like Danica did a Kickstarter, I believe, for like a couple of her things. I think for one of the X-Men ones, she did like some kind of Kickstarter, or she was doing a Vimeo thing, and it was really, really, really high quality. I was watching it today; it's like so good. So if I was like, if it was something like that, where it's like going to be like crazy high quality, then maybe. But like, I feel weird about like asking for money to make videos, which I'm going to do anyway, unless it's going to be something really, really, really special. Um, Someone says Second Foundation is the most adaptable to TV. I agree because it's more like epic story, lot going on, lots of moving parts, characters doing things. Like there's moving bits, there's moving pieces. With someone says, with your talent, how are you not super rich, bro? Well,
Working on it.
you guys, everyone, yeah, exactly. If you want to help me get rich, you can help by supporting Tadhya. And guys, oh, I just see this, guys. This is awesome, guys. We are like just a few hundred away from our next stretch goal. Thank you guys so much. Every stretch goal that we hit, we can make the book better. And the next stretch goal is going to be UV spot color covers to give the cover some glow. And like, yeah, that's just what's listed here. But like the more funding we get, the more backers we get, the better quality the finished product will be. The better the book will be. The better the binding will be. The better everything will be. So yeah, thank you guys so much for like getting us up here. We're gonna hit the stretch goal. It's super, super awesome. But yeah, if you want to support it, share, 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 do everything you can, and thank you guys so much. Okay, so let's see. Let's get you rich by getting a studio to pay for the movie and the TV rights. You guys are so hyped. I love you guys' enthusiasm about it. Let's just work on getting the book out like, at this point, and then we can think about maybe like yeah, then maybe in the future. That's way out there. But yeah, thanks for having faith in me, guys. It's really it boosts my confidence a lot. And when will Toddy be on HBO? Oh, pretty soon actually. I sold the rights to D&D. They're adapting it, and I think
Swear
that
this time.
yeah, David and Dan have assured me that this time for Tadhya, they can certainly adapt my story and take it to the small screen. And I trust David and Dan, and I think they'll do a better job than they did with Game of Thrones on Tadhya, obviously. So Tadhya's coming to HBO. D&D are doing it. You know, I'm a hypocrite, total hypocrite. You know, they offered me dump trucks of money, and I said, screw it. I said, change it all, change the whole story. Tadhya gets stabbed in the end. She gets.
Who's that white actress that keeps playing non-white roles?
Is it Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah, can she play Tadhya?
Yeah, so Scarlett Johansson has been cast as Tadhya. Um, yeah. So Mother Silas is being portrayed by Amelia Clark. I don't know. Okay, that's enough. Mother Silas is being portrayed by Maisie Williams. So yeah. So if you don't know, so that's Mother Silas right there, leader of the coven. Maisie Williams is going to do a great job as Mother Silas. Okay. So someone says D&D stands for dollars and diamonds. Get you some. I heard Will Smith will be in Tadhya. You heard right. Will Smith is the shoehorned love interest that D&D have invented for the Toddy adaptation.
That'd be funny if IMDb just said shoehorned love interest.
Someone said, could Foundation work as a film? Actually, I think the way they're doing the Foundation movie, I'm not the movie, the way they're doing the show, I think works. The way they're doing this show as a show is the best way to do Foundation, I think. And guys, it looks, come on, you guys know it looks good. Come on, it looks so good. This is gonna be so much fun to watch, even if it's kind of bad and not super great. It's gonna be fun to see them give a go at Foundation. It's gonna be fun to see Harry Seldon on screen for the first time in high budget. It's gonna be fun to see Asimov's universe again in something that's not iRobot, and like something that looks like it has like a vision. Look at this. Looks like this is pretty. This is beautiful, guys. It's beautiful. Like this could have looked like crap. This could have looked like generic sci-fi. I know generic sci-fi has a very specific look. This looks like they're trying to go. It's definitely Dune inspired. I will say that, but I don't think this is like, look at these costumes. That's far from generic. So anyone that's going, this is generic sci-fi, is kind of a little bit full of it. It's definitely different. Look at it's definitely different. It's got some hints of like the Denis Villeneuve Blade Runner stuff going on a little bit. I can see where the inspiration was coming from, but yeah. And of course, there's a little bit of the Star Wars stuff. Like this right here definitely gives me a little bit of Star Wars vibe for sure. But yeah, come on, guys, this is gonna be fun. Let's see what they do with it, and yeah, I'm excited personally. I'm not gonna let it stop me. I'm gonna at least give it a try and see what's up. See what's up with the Foundation. Okay, let's see. Someone says it looks like garbage. It's a makeshift Villeneuve. Well, I don't know if garbage is the word. See, that's the thing. I feel like I got like a lower standard for what garbage is? Like to me, garbage is like, I don't know what's garbage. Garbage is like Gods of Egypt. Like go look at Gods of Egypt and just like look at the trailer for Gods of Egypt, and like you just see the trailer and it's just like over the top CGI nightmare. That's just like, oh my god, just the whole movie's on green screen. Like this looks like there was some restraint. Actually, it looks like there's a mixing of like some CGI stuff, practical stuff going on, like some cool looking costumes that don't look super typical. Yeah, and I get having high standards. I have high standards when it comes to like stuff being adapted. I think I have high standards, but when my standard comes in when it comes to like, does this capture the spirit of the original book, the original story? Is this in line with the themes that the author was trying to present? Because I care about that. That's what's important with the story like Foundation, like I said earlier. Another super chat. They make the ruling structure seem old, like the little pieces I've seen. They make it feel like it's been there a long time, which is they should. And thanks for your super chat. Thank you so much. They should, because this empire has been going on for a very, very, very long time. It's kind of unclear, but a very long time, spread out to millions and millions of planets. It's like one of the most expansive galactic empires like ever. And it all falls, and they experience like a dark ages. Everyone's cut off, and it's devastating. It's devastating, and it's one thing that Asimov does do is like he is able to some degree capture the terror of being cut off, like being interconnected galactic society that depended on all the interweaving planets, and then being cut off and having like all this other and just darkness. So he does capture that horror to an extent, but I feel like those are ideas that could be expanded upon in a show a bit better, for sure. Like because that is very scary. It's like imagine if we're on imagine Earth right now and then like an electromagnetic pulse or something and then no more technology. Like our society today is so interwoven with technology and everything technology that like we would see starvation on like a global scale. It would be massive, and that's exactly what you see in as a there's it's really messed up. It's similar to what happens in Dune. They talk about a period where there was a dark ages, like when after the Butlerian Jihad, they had no means of safe space travel, so everyone was kind of cut off. It was a very scary, dark time when there was no intergalactic commerce, and there was a lot of devastation. There was a lot of suffering. There was a lot of starvation. There's a lot of just all that stuff. Be really, 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 really bad. That's the point. And I think that's one of the things that they could capture in this series, especially because with the modern viewpoint, because that's the thing. Although Asimov was a visionary, he is to sci-fi what Tolkien is to fantasy. And though he was a visionary, he's still a writer from the 1950s. And there's been 70 years of history since the first Foundation book was released. Um, and a lot of technological advancements and like the way there's a lot of things like the internet and Twitter that like there was no concept of that when Asimov was alive. So like all of these things are very like modern ideals and modern ideas that like what happens if like all that just goes away and we're just like cut off and like all of it just falls away. So let's see. I wonder how. See, I think about this sometimes. I think about like how like some of the classic writers and the classic thinkers like Roddenberry and well, not the Roddenberry is not really a classic thinker. I mean, he invented Star Trek, so yeah, maybe he is. Like I wonder how like some of the classic sci-fi people like Roddenberry, Asimov, Frank Herbert would like view what's going on in just society, not just recent society, but just like in the last 10 years, 5 years, whatever, and Twitter and Facebook and like NSA spying and all of this. I wonder, and even George Orwell, I think George Orwell would be having a freaking trip right now with like the way things are going with like NSA spying and just like the government surveillance and everything that's going on, the fascism, everything. I think Orwell will be just like having a he'd just be like, I told you. I feel like he's in his grave right now. Like I told you this would happen. I warned you. I warned you, jerks. I warned you, jerks, decades ago. I told you, right? So yeah, that'd be interesting to see. Orwell would love it. I don't know if he'd love it, but I see what you mean. He'd be like, "Yeah, I told you so." Quinn, what is your favorite sci-fi movie of all time? Ooh, that is a tough one. That is a tough one. I loved Arrival. Arrival is one of my favorite modern ones. Daniel Green was talking about Annihilation on Twitter today, and I totally concur. Annihilation is so good as far as a modern one. But then, of course, there's 2001, and I feel like there's been a resurgence of people now being like 2001 is overrated because it's like hip to go back to every like amazing thing and say that it's overrated. But like 2001, Kubrick is just one of my favorite movies ever. Like it's just like I was explaining the plot, I think, to my roommate or somebody, and how it's like so weird and cerebral, and it's kind of amazing that it blew up the way that it did. And the reason that it stands the test of time because it's like that movie. It's one of those alchemical works that speaks to something in the human subconscious, in the human psyche. You have like humankind moving through like multiple states of evolution through that movie. I've never read the 2001 book, so I'm only talking about the movie. But so in the movie, at least my interpretation is like we've got like, which is why if you've ever seen Interstellar, I felt very much was like a spiritual successor to 2001. You can skip over to the sequel to 2001, just ignore that. But so you have at the start of 2001, you see early proto humans. They're like monkeys, and and they're primitive, and then the monolith appears, and they evolve to the next state. They learn how to use tools and weapons, and the next phase, we're like on the moon, and we see the monolith, and we evolve to the next state. How does it work? Is that how it works? Yeah, we're on the moon, the monolith, we evolve to the next state, and then we're like spacefaring now, and then you have the final character that finally he goes through like the trippy, he hits like the fourth dimension or whatever it is, and he evolves into the next level, finally like the third evolution of humankind, and he becomes Star Child. He becomes Star Child. That's so if you've ever seen like that big float, if you've never seen it, I'm sure you've seen like images of like the big floating like fetus in the sky. So that's what the main character, Dave, that's what he becomes. Like, I'm sorry, Dave, I cannot do that. That character. After he goes through the fifth dimension Stargate thing and he experiences like his whole life and dying and life and death and old age and everything, he evolves into Star Child, and then he returns to Earth to spread the good word, to spread the gospel. So he returns to Earth as Star Child with all this newfound wisdom to inspire humankind. It's just, and just like it's such a trippy story, right? And then it's like Stanley Kubrick is just such a fantastic director. There is almost no dialogue in 2001. Like 2001 is like is a visual visual storytelling. 2001 is almost is a it's a very very quiet movie. It's visual storytelling, and that's kind of what makes it so breathtaking. You're meant to just kind of like be swept away, and just like the grandeur and the awe of it, uh, and also some of the best filmmaking tricks ever done. Like you go back and look at 2001, that looks better than CGI will ever look. Honestly, it looks so good. Those models, like when you have like the actress and she's like in the low gravity thing and she like walks upside down, just like just a marvel of filmmaking. That is absolutely one of my favorite, if not my favorite, sci-fi movie of all time. And yeah, 2001 is high up there. And I also really dig Clockwork Orange, another Kubrick one, even though you can debate me about whether or not that's a sci-fi movie, but it is. I mean, Clockwork Orange is definitely not for everyone. That one's pretty brutal, but it's definitely sci-fi. It's about like even the name, and that's another one where I have not read the book. Like even the name itself um, implies science fiction. So if you don't know what a Clockwork Orange is about, you basically have this deviant who is institutionalized, and then he's taken and he's basically brainwashed. So like every time he thinks of violence, wait, what is it? What is the plot? I forget exactly what it is. Every time he's violent, it's pain, or every time he hears a certain music, it's pain. But basically, what they do is they condition him against pain. They reprogram him. Um, I haven't seen it in a minute. I'll have to go back and look at it. But they reprogram him, and that's what the title is referring to: a clockwork orange. Because on the outside he is flesh, but on the inside it's clockwork. He's been conditioned. He's been reprogrammed by the system. And so he was a bad guy, but isn't like the dilemma, I guess, the philosophy, the questions that are being brought up is like, is it worse to do this, to condition him and to do this? Yeah, he feels sick after seeing violence. He gets sick after seeing violence. And there's also something with Beethoven too. Like Beethoven causes him like extreme pain. But yeah, so the concepts that are being brought up, like, yes, he was a terrible, absolutely degenerate, horrible human being. But isn't the reprogramming almost worse? And if they can do it to him, what's going to happen when they start doing it to you? Right? It starts with like, let's do it to the criminals. Let's do it to like the really, really bad guys. But then it moves on. And then they're doing it to people that like speak out against the government or something. That's the way fascism always slowly creeps in like that. So yeah, I think Clockwork Orange definitely counts as sci-fi, at the very least dystopian. It's another Kubrick one that I absolutely adore. So I gave you guys a few modern ones and a couple of old ones. What are some of you guys' favorite sci-fi movies? I wonder if I've seen some of them. We talk about science fiction books a lot on this channel, but we don't a lot of the times get to talk about sci-fi films. And if you guys are just getting in, make sure you check out my graphic novel, Tadhya. We are unbelievably close to our next stretch goal. Yes, and I see we've gotten more backers. Thank you guys so much. We're so close to our next stretch goal and making the book better. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you guys so much for your support. You can check out my book, my graphic novel, Tadhya, in the description. Check out all the art. It's absolutely beautiful. We've got multiple fantastic veteran comic artists working on this. So let me look at what some of you guys are saying about um, your favorite movies. Children of Men, The Black Hole, I've not seen that. Blade Runner, obviously. City of Lost Children, Equilibrium. RoboCop is a great one. You gotta love RoboCop. Obviously, the original, not the remake. The Fifth Element is a great one. The Fifth Element, definitely inspired by the Inkle, but the Fifth Element is definitely a great one. Very just interesting vision for that movie. It's very beautiful. Not, no, I don't. It's not like beautiful. It's like it's interesting. It's colorful. V for Vendetta, is that technically sci-fi? Um, Someone says watch Dark. It's a show. I've seen Dark, and I'm prepared. You see this giant TV behind me? Friday night, as soon as Dark is available at like midnight or whatever, I am watching it on this TV in 4K. Like I am watching Dark. Outlander is one that I have not read. I know what Outlander is about. It's time travel, but that's one that I have not gotten to just yet. You guys have good taste, it seems like. Let's see. The final season of Dark. I know, guys. Mr. Nobody is a great one. Mr. Nobody is a trippy movie. That is a trippy movie. It's like it's all about, and it's funny that we were talking about Dark because that almost seems like a synchronicity. So Dark is all about like time travel and like how like different forking points of like life and reality and timey wimey wibbly wobbly. But in Mr. Nobody, oh my god, it's I don't want to spoil it, but it's all about the decisions that you make in your life and how like with every decision that you make, you're kind of like deleting an entire timeline. The timeline is constantly shifting and changing with every decision that you make. And so that's what Mr. Nobody is. Oh my God, it's such a good wraparound with Mr. Nobody. It's great. Okay. So, guys, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for coming to the stream. Please check out my graphic novel, Tadhya. We are doing really good with Tadhya. We're almost to our next stretch goal. We have over 859 backers right now. 800, that's incredible. We've sold over 1,000 books. It's fantastic. Like I said, we've got low price points for the paperback copy and the digital copy, just $10 and $15, because I wanted everyone to be able to read it. Thanks everyone for coming to the stream. Please, please, please hit the like button before you go, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Please share the link to Tadhya. I think I might have gotten some PayPal stuff. Thank you so much, Aris Jonian, for your PayPal. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Um yeah, thanks everyone for coming and check out Tadhya. And I couldn't be more appreciative that we've raised so much in funding and just like 8 or 9 days. It's like really warmed my heart and it makes me feel like you guys really care. And like I said, if anybody wants to get on making a Tadhya Wikipedia page or someone's already made it, then everyone can add to it. Don't troll me, but yeah. Thanks for watching, guys, and it's been real. Peace.